We have to improve in this point, but we have a good base on the rain.
Thank you and best of luck.
Thank you to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. Thanks to Michele Massini. Alex Rins, not quite sure that it's sunglasses weather right now for the Suzuki man, but I guess just trying to keep himself focused, trying to hide some of the nerves that will inevitably...
Of spray. There will still be some standing water in patches of this racetrack. We've already heard from Piero Taramasso that there are still some patches as the virtual fan wall. Get ready to see this historic first Indonesian Grand Prix in 25 years. If we are going to see some spray, particularly in the early laps with the field all running together, it's going to be so important for these guys to try and get a clear track as soon as possible.
Yeah, Fabio Quartararo would not have known how perhaps significant that pole position was yesterday. He knew it was going to be good and crucial in dry conditions. Well, it might be absolutely vital now with, as Lewis said, the potential very, very limited experience of that Ducati in rain conditions. This is going to be a tough test of the mettle for these MotoGP riders. 5 minutes then to the race start here in Mandalika, and finally we can say there's going to be MotoGP race action in Indonesia. Our first visit to Southeast Asia since 2019.
Starts all the way back in 18th on the grid. The brother of this man, Marc Marquez, if you're just joining us, will not start this Grand Prix due to a concussion sustained in the warm-up earlier on today, as some drizzle starts to fall, as Simon Crafar lets us know from pit lane. But Alex Marquez, his brother, of course, took a sensational podium, his first podium in MotoGP in very wet conditions at Le Mans, and very nearly won that Grand Prix as he was chasing down Danilo Petrucci. He'll certainly be a rider who will have a big result on his hands potentially today, certainly a bigger result than he thought when he qualified 18th yesterday.
Let's just hope then that rain that's just starting to fall a little bit heavier again, as the team personnel are told to clear the grid, that it doesn't turn to Indonesia for the first time since 1997. Understandably, some really tense, anxious looking faces down there on the grid. Somebody give Aleix Espargaro a glass of water. He looked like he got a real dry mouth. So here it is then, finally we're about to get underway in MotoGP here in Indonesia. Two Pramac Ducatis on the front row of the grid.
An uphill struggle for him in the Grand Prix. He was planning to go maximum attack from the start of the Grand Prix, and given the way he's been riding all weekend, he's not one to take a backward step. He was certainly going to be pushing the envelope during this. Disappointment for the packed crowd in Indonesia. This is what happened to Marc Marquez earlier on this morning. Coming through turn 7, the rear starters to come round and then violently eject him over the top.
That was one of the scariest crashes any of us witnessed in many a year, if not the scariest we've seen ever. This was brutal. This was savage. Marc Marquez, this is the reason why he's been ruled out of this Indonesian Grand Prix. A fourth gear off throttle high side. This was just after he'd sort of stumbled through the gravel trap, being taken away by the medical team. There was immediate concern. It was obvious that he'd taken a nasty whack to the head. There was that full 360-degree pivot about 15 feet in the air. This was Marquez in the immediate aftermath of the crash. This was this morning, being taken to the medical centre, where he was undergoing initial precautionary checks with the local medical staff and of course with Dr. Angel Chartra. He then was taken to a nearby hospital on this island of Lombok. Here we go. This was Marquez then being transferred. Some precautionary checks, of course. Pretty obvious that he had taken a nasty whack to his head. It was such a violent crash, over a 100-mile-an-hour crash, nearly 2